Hello, everyone. I wanted to take a few minutes today to address a common grammatical error, the run-on and comma splice. A run-on is a sentence with two or more independent clauses improperly joined together. Have a look at an example. Fanny Price is reminded of her place within the household from day one. Sir Thomas instructs Mrs. Norris before Fanny arrived at Mansfield Park to make her remember that she is not a Miss Bertram. We have certainly more than one independent clause here. We have Fanny is reminded of her place within the household from day one, or, well, it could go a couple of ways. We've got Fanny is reminded of her place within the household, and from day one, Sir Thomas instructs Mrs. Norris before Fanny arrived at Mansfield Park to make her remember that she is not a Miss Bertram. Okay, I think that seems like the two independent clauses. So there are a couple of ways to revise run-ons. You can create two sentences, you can use a semicolon, or you can add a coordinating conjunction and a comma. And these are the coordinating conjunctions. Fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. You see, the acronym is helpful. These are the only coordinating conjunctions. So these are the only words that can be used after a comma to join two sentences. So let's go back to our example sentence. So the first option is to create two independent clauses. So Fanny Price is reminded of her place within the household. And then from day one, Sir Thomas instructs Mrs. Norris before Fanny arrived at Mansfield Park to make her remember that she is not a Miss Bertram. So that's one option. I almost wonder if we shouldn't. I started thinking out loud. So that's the one option, is to make two independent sentences. The next option we discussed was to use a semicolon. From day one, Sir Thomas instructs Mrs. Norris before Fanny arrived at Mansfield Park to make her remember that she's not a Miss Bertram. There's that option. And then we could try the coordinating conjunction. Let's see. Fanny Price, so we're looking for one of the fanboys words. Fanny Price is reminded of her place within the household. Maybe. Oh. And from day one, so comma and coordinating conjunction. And from day one, Sir Thomas instructs Mrs. Norris before Fanny arrived at Mansfield Park to make her remember that she's not a Miss Bertram. So any of these options is more grammatical than what we started with, which was this. That was the run-on sentence. So we experimented with the three options. Let's take a look at another kind of run-on, a comma splice, which is a type of run-on. A comma splice is when you use a comma alone to join two independent clauses. So have a look. A name can be a way to find out personal information about another. For example, race, ethnicity, and religion are often revealed in a name. All right, let's start by dividing up the independent clauses. You see this? This comma. Oh, I just realized I picked a tricky one because this for here, that is technically a coordinating conjunction, but not in this usage. Here it's acting like a preposition. So at any rate, this comma alone is not sufficient to join two independent clauses. Once again, our options for revision are to create two sentences, use a semicolon in place of the comma, or add a coordinating conjunction and a comma. So let's try it. Let's try fixing up this sentence. A name can be a way to find out personal information about another. First option is the period and the new sentence. That's option 1. Option 2 is to use the semicolon. So we could do, for example. That's how we fix that. Or option 3, I've run out of space. What if I'm going to shrink this down for you guys. Sorry. Okay, option 3 is to do this, where we use the comment and the coordinating conjunction. A name can be a way to find out personal information about another. And for example, that not every option available is the best option. I really think that either option 1 or 2 in this example is the best option, or, are better choices than trying to do the last. So I'm going to take that one away. Let's look at another example for us to fix up. We've got, she makes them out to be cold, heartless, and manipulative. They use Fanny in the way they choose. If she resists, they know what to say to reel her back into line. Okay, so in this case, we have 3 independent clauses, I think. She makes them out to be cold, heartless, and manipulative. And they use Fanny in a way they choose. In any way they choose. If she resists, they know what to say to reel her back into line. I'm going to add a few more slides. I'm going to duplicate these slides so that we can do it again. Do the 3 fixes. So the first fix, you'll recall, is to make these 3 independent clauses. They use Fanny any way they choose. If she resists. Let's see. How does that one look? It seems as though this is a little bit choppy with so many sentences. So let's take a look at the next option, which is we can try to join these. With the semicolon, she makes them out to be cold, heartless, and manipulative. Whoops. They use Fanny in any way they choose. I think I would end that sentence there. I'm combining methods here. If she resists, they know what to say to get her back into line. And then the last option, we can join them with, we can join 2 of these with the comma and the coordinating conjunction. She makes them out to be cold, heartless, and manipulative. They use Fanny in any way they choose. And if she resists, they know what to say to reel her back into line. So these are the kinds of changes that we're looking to see when I mention in your papers that there are run-ons or comma splices. Again, so just to go back to the list of the options, you can create two sentences, use a semicolon, or add a coordinating conjunction and a comma. I hope this was helpful. I will be posting more options for you.